The mass shooting in Orlando is such a traumatic event that many may not know how to deal with their heightened emotions. ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us with some helpful information. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. Not unlike 9/11, the Orlando shooting for many is unfathomable. But there is a difference between letting yourself acknowledge and feel what happened as opposed to letting the event affect, disrupt, and rule your life.
There's a huge range of reactions when something like this happens, from total denial to absolute terror and anything in the middle.
Whether it's in a neighboring city, a family member, a friend being a part of it, or witnessing it on social media or in the news, says Dr. Stephanie Lirio of Family Cope and Pathways Human Services.
It's very normal to feel anxious and to feel scared and to feel like you might want to avoid things that you would normally do.
But now the recent events of the shooting in Orlando may have some people being concerned about the way they spend their days.
You know, parents drop their children off at school all the time, or day camp. And normally that's a very fun, routine activity. You don't even think twice of it.
Now, says Dr. Lirio, big crowded places, movie theaters, concert halls, all seem like they could be targets.
That, I think, is a really good example of how a very normal routine activity can suddenly cause extreme fear, terror in somebody.
Financial advisor Peter Abbott, former Sarasota chief of police, is a retired New York City police inspector.
9/11 was it was a very difficult day. Obviously, the whole country went through it at the same time, but being right there when the second plane hit, it gives you a whole different perspective. And putting the gear on officers that went into the buildings and didn't come out.
Abbott says the Orlando shootings may have some feeling survivor guilt.
Why is it me that's here as opposed to how come they're gone?
Everybody deals with stress and trauma differently, says Abbott.
Some folks can handle it and be able to deal and work through it. Some folks, they end up with post-traumatic stress disorder and stuff like that. Everybody else kind of falls in the middle.
I do think it's very important to talk about these things, because if we don't talk about them and ignore them, they actually grow bigger. I think it's a good reminder to be vigilant. You know, you want to be careful, you want to be cautious, you want to use good common sense, but you don't want that to cross in the line of being paranoid.
Dr. Lirio urges parents to talk to children because it's better for them to get the information from you rather than from school friends or other sources. And the American Red Cross also has tips on coping and preparedness, which includes talking to your children and allowing them to voice their fears.
And mentioning in your story 9/11, Alex, what helped those of you who were there in New York at the time cope with such a tough tragedy?
Yeah, Peter Abbott actually explained that one of the things that helped him get through it, and it also helped me get through it, was helping others. Of course, he sent people off going towards it, and he was there in the Situation Room and just doing everything that he could. For me, it was dealing with animals and, you know, helping to set up the foster program, because it took my mind off of the way that I was feeling and allowed me to help somebody else, and helping someone else always helps you get through the emotions that you're going through.
No matter what you're going through.
No matter
That's right.
what, absolutely.
Thank you, Alex.